Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is RJ Net Anwar. I'm from PBIB. My student ID 20400123042. I wanna answer four questions from the assignment 7. The first question is, to the best of your knowledge, what do you know of language acquisition? Language acquisition means the natural process of gaining the ability to use a language. It happens when a person unconsciously learns to speak, listen, read, and write through everyday interaction and communication. It involves learning the sounds, words, grammar, and meanings of a language without formal study or conscious effort. In other words, language acquisition is how people, especially children, pick up their first language naturally by being exposed to it in their environment. The second question is, what do you know of language development? My answer is, language development means the process of how a person's ability to use and understand language grows over time. It is a cognitive process, which means it happens in the mind. During this process, different parts of language, such as sounds, word forms, sentence structures, and meanings, are stored in the brain as knowledge. In simple terms, language development is about how people build and improve their language skills as they grow, learn new words, and understand how to use language correctly in communication. The third question is, do they refer to the same thing or different? Explain your answer and position with reasons. My answer is, language acquisition and language development are not the same thing. Language acquisition refers to how people naturally gain their first language by being exposed to it and interacting with others. It happens unconsciously without formal study or effort, like how children learn to speak just by listening and communicating. Meanwhile, language development is about how a person's language ability grows and improves over time. The fourth question is, do you agree with saying that language acquisition and language development are psycholinguistics phenomena? Explain your position with reasons. My answer is yes, I agree that language acquisition and language development are psycholinguistics phenomena. This is because both processes involve the relationship between the human mind or psychology and language use or linguistics. In language acquisition, the mind unconsciously processes sounds, words, and grammar to build the ability to understand and produce language. In language development, the brain continues to organize, store, and expand this linguistic phenomena as a person grows. In other words, both processes are mental activities that show how the brain works to learn, process, and use language. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.